Okay, here's my little Kohler 1.5 M25 1500 watt. It's a 1954. I promised a better quality video of it starting and running. It hasn't run in a couple days now. That carburetor's probably leaking. Yeah, it's okay. The float doesn't work quite right. I did put another muffler on it. The muffler was shot. But I would like a Nelson muffler for it, if I can find one. Something along the lines of this, but I'm looking for one with a, I think I need one with a 1-inch pipe. So, without further ado, let me see if it'll start. It actually has been starting pretty good. I've added a dipstick to it for convenience. Didn't originally have one like that. It had the screw plug, full choke. And it hasn't run in probably 2 or 3 days. So it'll probably take a couple pulls to get it started. It does burn a little bit of oil, but the smoke clears up after it's run for a couple minutes and doesn't smoke anymore. So it's a really good running engine. The light bulb was on it when I found it. I haven't replaced it. It's just a really good working little generator. Like I said, that smoke will clear up after it's run for about 5 minutes or so, and it'll run nice and clean. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Not bad for a $25 generator missing its flywheel and missing its shroud. It turned out good. Plugged a 175 watt light into it. That is running off the generator. It's nice and bright out here. Got the typical Kohler kill switch on the points cover, and it's a really good running engine. It's still got a couple issues. For some strange reason, there's a corner to a paper towel in the gas tank, and it covers the fuel inlet to the sediment bowl here. Sometimes while it's running, I got to get that out of there, and that starves it for gas, which makes it run a little funny sometimes. But the gas tank is clean otherwise. The sediment bowl and the fuel valve are all working. I didn't do anything to them. I didn't do anything to the carburetor, except the float was stuck. Other than that, the bowl is spotless. Someone took good care of it, except when the magneto died, they took the flywheel off, took the shroud off, and lost part of the magneto and the shroud and the flywheel. I'm going to end up getting a recoil starter for this, and probably anyways. But yeah, I really like this generator. It really works well, it runs well, makes power as it should. And it didn't have very good compression at first, but now that the rings have had a chance to run in, it actually does have pretty good compression. And as you saw, that was a genuine cold start. It started pretty well. It's only about, I don't know, 32, 33 degrees here. Maybe slightly above freezing. It's not very warm. As of right now, at any time, I could start seeing snowflakes. We have a snowstorm scheduled to hit tonight that could drop anywhere from 4 to 6 or 6 to 12 inches, depending on our elevation. So we're probably looking at 4 to 8, and it's supposed to be nasty snow. So this little MTD snowblower here might be needed. Get out of the wind here. Up at the house, our Bollins, what is it, a 1026 or whatever it is, or 1032, a 1032 Bollins, a couple weeks ago during our last snow, it decided, or my father was out snowblowing and ran over a boot scraper doormat. And anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's a doormat with a heavy metal wire that runs around the outside. Then it's got metal mesh with really thick wiry bristles in it for scraping mud off your boots. And that got sucked up in the snowblower, and it got wrapped around the impeller. Didn't shear any of the shear pins, but it stalled it out dead. I had to take both end bearings off the auger. I had to use an angle grinder to cut the metal mesh of the doormat apart because it was too thick for bolt cutters. And boy, it took a while to get out of there. So I brought this little MTD up, and this MTD, surprisingly to me, did excellent in the heavy wet snow that we had last time. It did a better job throwing it than the Bollins. It throws it further than the Bollins, and this is only half the horsepower. This is a 5-horse. This thing did surprisingly well. So for a free snowblower that we have put absolutely no money into, and absolutely whatsoever except for an oil change, it's an awesome little machine. I mean, I would never buy an MTD if I could help it, but for what it is, it works pretty good. Won't hold up as good as the Bollins does over time, because the Bollins, has a heavier cast iron gearbox, where this does not. This has a, I think it's a cast aluminum or a pot metal gearbox for the auger, so it's not going to hold up to the strain that the Bollins can handle. If this thing ate that doormat, it would probably puke and wreck itself. But no matter. I like it. It does what it's supposed to do. No frills. Starts nice and easy. Probably start right up, and this thing's cold too. Let's see. Gas on. Choke on. We'll give her half throttle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And see how many pulls it takes. Probably 2 or 3, and it will probably start right up. Cool little snowblower. 1. Okay. 1 less choke. Doesn't get much better than that for a free snowblower. I love it.